Let's dive into the discussions shaping the nation.
That's Concorla, or Concorla, sorry. I'm glad to get the opportunity to talk about housing here again tonight. And I have to say, since I came up here in 2016, we have been at it constantly. Every man and woman that has sat inside this stall has been talking about housing, and little has changed, Minister. I want to first talk about vacant properties. I have spoken about it here last year, the year before. I have spoken about it recently, and the story is still the same. There's vacant houses and properties all around the countryside, all around Kerry, inside in streets and villages and towns, out the country, they're everywhere. And there's nothing being done. I'm asking, for God's sake, reduce the tax so that people that are on another income and have a house to rent, that they won't have to pay a 50% tax, because it's not worth their while renting out the house if they're being charged 50 or 52% tax. You do know that the houses are idle. You're getting no bob or copper at all of tax from an empty house. Surely to God, if he took a lesser amount, that he could manage that. And you see, the other thing then is, when people people are afraid to rent out their houses, because if they do, they're afraid they can't get them back when they want them. And you see, the RTB have too much powers, and they're insisting that, you know, they're on the tenant side, and I don't mind the crowd that are being fair, but they're not being fair at the present time. And I know that tenants are striving hard to get houses and want to stay in houses, but you have to be fair if someone wants their house back. But they're afraid they won't rent out the house, and that's it. We have to, and look, there's another thing. You're talking there about the first-time buyer's grant for a new house. Why don't you extend that to the vacant houses, to the second-hand houses? They're first-time buyers. Why don't you extend it to allow them to buy second-hand houses? And you see, planning in rural areas. We've been told here inside several times, there's people being denied planning in rural areas because of this thing of urban-generated pressure. And you see, farmers' sons and daughters right next door to them can get it. This is discrimination. I'm not saying that the farmers' son, I fought long and hard for that, they have to get it. But the people next door to them that are living and lived all their lives next door to them and have a couple of acres and can get a site from a next door neighbour, they should be allowed planning permission. A planning regulator up here decided that. And then we have the thing where the national roads, how many times have I heard this phrase? People can get access onto a national road, get planning permission to get access onto a national road, even though it's an established access. And even though that there's a mile of a straight in Balloch where people could come out onto the road in both sides, and they're being denied planning permission there. There has been no affordable houses at all in Kerry in the reign of the last government. And if you think that Irish Water can build all the treatment plants and bring the water up to scratch without getting funding, that won't happen, Minister. They have no funding stream, and if we're realistic and honest about it, they'll have to get funding to build it. Inward migration, yes, the population is doubling and tripling, and we're not matching it with houses being built. And we're not doing enough to release the vacant houses and ensure that they come on stream. We need to do more, Minister. We've enough talked, and the government needs to act now. Please.
Thank you, Deputy.
Like, share, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.